Hello, everyone. This is Dr. Sherelle Perkins. I'm glad to be with you this afternoon. I am so grateful you've decided to spend a few minutes with me today. If you're joining me for the very first time, welcome. Here at Room Live, we just want to have honest dialogues and conversations about what it means to be leaders in this space that we live in, a space where we are bringing into the earth faith and purpose and becoming the kinds of leaders God created us to be in our time and in our season. So, whether you're leading a family or building a career, serving your community, you might be growing a business, leading a ministry, or simply trying to become the best version of yourself. You belong here. Welcome. And if you have a cup of coffee or tea, settle in for just a few minutes. Today, I'm simply going to share with you a little of my journey. Uh, Now, have you noticed people say, "Have a great day"? We hear it all the time at church, at work, in the grocery store, even from complete strangers. It's a beautiful sentiment. But one thing, as I sat quietly with my coffee before the day began, I started thinking about these words. A great day doesn't usually happen by accident. It begins with a decision, not a decision about what kind of day we're going to receive, but about the kind of person we're going to be, regardless of how the day begins. And that thought stayed with me because life has taught me something. Some things begin with celebration, some mornings begin with difficult phone calls. Some seasons are filled with answered prayer, and others require us to trust God even when we don't understand what He is doing. If you've lived long enough, as I have, you'll probably experience both. There have been seasons in my life where everything seemed to be moving forward: career, family, ministry, dreams. And then there are seasons when life unexpectedly slowed me down. Health challenges has a way of changing your perspective. They remind you that tomorrow isn't promised. They teach you to appreciate things you once overlooked. I remember reaching a point where I wasn't focused on some huge accomplishment. I found myself thanking God for much smaller things. One stronger day, one encouraging doctor's report, one peaceful morning, one walk that felt a little easier than the one before, one deep breath. And somewhere during that season, I realized something. Gratitude isn't something we practice after life gets better. Gratitude is often what helps us become better while life is still unfolding. That realization changed the way I lead. It changed the way I pray. It changed the way I live. It even changed the way that I see people. Here's what I've discovered after decades of leadership. Leaders don't influence people simply because they have answers. They influence people because they bring hope. Think about the people you've admired most. Was it because they knew everything? Probably not. More likely, they remained calm during uncertainty. They encouraged people when everyone else was criticizing. They believed in possibilities, even when others only saw problems. That's what gratitude does. Gratitude changes the lens through which we live life and see life. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? We begin asking, Lord, what are you teaching me? Instead of focusing on what's missing, we begin to appreciate what's already present. This shift changes everything. One of the greatest leadership lessons that I want to share, and it doesn't have anything about a new strategy or a new system. Sometimes we simply need another breath. Isn't that true? Parents become overwhelmed. Whew, take another deep breath. Leaders carry enormous responsibility. Who entrepreneurs worry about the next opportunity. Young professionals wonder whether they're going to move fast enough. Sometimes the healthiest thing we can do is stop, take a deep breath, and remember that breathing itself is a gift from God. That pause gives us room to think clearly, to pray honestly, to release our frustrations, to embrace today. Sometimes before God repositions us, He invites us to release something we've been carrying. Perhaps it's disappointments. We have disappointments. Perhaps it's comparison. Nah, no two people are alike. Perhaps it's regret. Gratitude creates the atmosphere and the courage to let go. So before I continue, I want you to take a deep breath. We're breathing in and we're letting go. So let's continue. Woo. You know, long before leadership, books talked about emotional intelligence or resilience. The Apostle Paul in the Bible wrote these remarkable words. You'll find it in First Thessalonians 5:18. He said, "Give thanks in all circumstance, for this is God's will for you in Yeshua." I've always noticed something about that verse. Paul didn't say to give thanks for every circumstance. He said give thanks in every circumstance. There's a difference. God isn't asking us to celebrate hardship. He's reminding us that He's present through all that we go through, and He never leaves us in the middle of it. Maybe you're watching today and you're new to faith. So, if so, let me simply encourage you with this. Gratitude is one of the healthiest habits you can begin developing. And as you grow in your relationship with God, you'll discover that gratitude isn't based on perfect circumstances. It's rooted in the faithfulness of a perfect God. So, quickly, 5 simple practices. First, begin every morning by thanking God for 3 things before you check your phone. Oh my goodness, I'm working on that myself. Second, pause before reacting. A grateful heart always makes wiser decisions. Third, celebrate progress. Don't wait for perfection before acknowledging growth. Fourth, release yesterday. You can't embrace your next season while dragging your last one behind you. And finally, tell people you appreciate them. Never underestimate the healing power of sincere encouragement. So, from my heart to yours, Can I leave you with one final thought? Tomorrow morning, before the emails, before the meetings, before the responsibilities, before the headlines, take one slow breath and thank God for one thing, just one. Maybe it's your family, your health. Maybe it's that you woke up. Maybe it's another opportunity to begin again. That one moment may change your circumstances, and it may not, but it will change your heart. And when the heart of a leader changes, everything around them begins to change too. I've seen it happen in my life, and I believe it can happen in yours. Because after all these years, I've become convinced of one simple truth: your gratitude determines your altitude. Let us close in prayer. Father, thank you for every person watching today, no matter what season they're walking through. Remind them that your faithfulness never changes. Teach us to become leaders whose gratitude is greater than our fears. Perhaps we need to release what we've been carrying. Help us, Lord. Strengthen us to embrace every new opportunity you place before us. May our homes become more grateful. May our workplaces become more encouraging. May our communities become more compassionate. And may our lives reflect your goodness everywhere we go. In Yeshua's name, amen. Thank you for spending these moments with me. If today's conversation encourages you, I hope you'll share it with someone who may need this reminder. Also love to hear from you. What is one thing you're grateful for today? Leave it in the comments below. I will read them, and I love hearing your stories. Until next time, keep leading with wisdom, keep serving with love. Keep growing with purpose and never forget your gratitude determines your altitude. God bless you. I'll see you in the next Fire Room Live. Have a blessed day.